Hey, so that was the video allegedly made by the man that killed killed 6 people, killed himself, and injured 7 others just yesterday in California. I say allegedly. We don't know for sure, but it definitely seems like this is the guy. And obviously what makes this shooting so special, I mean, spree shootings happen so often now that it's almost like a mundane thing. But what makes this one stand apart is this video. If it is really him, and I'm about like 95% sure that this is really him, he is actually explaining for once the main reason, what I've been saying this entire time, the vast majority of these mass shootings, at least when it involves a lonely guy and goes to a college and shoots up his classmates, is because of involuntary celibacy. And this goes all the way back to Columbine, but more specifically, Virginia Tech with Sung-Wee Cho. And I made a video about that, giving my thoughts as to why he did it. And I got a lot of pushback when I said that the reason why he did this is because of involuntary celibacy. He wanted to have interpersonal relations with females. He wanted to have sex with them. He wanted to have romantic relationships with them. He wanted to have a family. He wanted all of these things. But due to his personality, his inability to form those relationships, his lack of social skills and things like that, he wasn't ever able to do it. It makes men go crazy, because everything in a male drives them to want to have sex. That's natural selection selected for it, so that if you're denied it, you suffer from mental problems. It's pretty fucking obvious. And I pointed those things out, and a lot of people just didn't believe it. They didn't believe it. And now for the first time, we have clear proof, because he's telling you why he did it. And I think the reason why so many mass shootings never have the shooter explicitly state why he's doing it is because he's ashamed of that reason. No guy wants to admit that they are virgin, that girls don't like them, and they never even kissed a girl. This guy was 22, he never even kissed a girl. He's sexually frustrated to the max. But unlike all the other previous shooters, he told you exactly why he's doing this. And, I can't help but feel like he is also a victim. I mean, obviously what he did was wrong. The people that he killed had nothing to do with his problems. Well, to a certain extent, you could say that, all girls are his enemy because they're all rejecting him. Like, you could say that he probably would have been perfectly fine with any girl. But if he asked out any of those girls, they probably would have rejected him. Just because, of the... I once had a friend who told me this. 1% of the guys get like 99% of the girls. And if you think about it, it kind of is true, because some guys really do have that kind of charisma and sexual attraction. Probably not looks, though. I don't think it really has much to do with looks, because I can't really tell because, I am heterosexual, but I'm guessing he's a perfectly normal, good-looking guy, actually. He looks normal, okay? There are guys who get girls that I've seen that are ugly as hell, but they have, they're garrulous. They're able to talk about absolutely nothing. And then for some bizarre reason, girls just like those kinds of guys. He goes into how girls like assholes, and there actually have been some studies that demonstrate that girls, for some reason, are attracted to guys like this for very psychological reasons. I mean, there might be a selective reason for it, because being an asshole might demonstrate greater amounts of aggression, and that in turn might indicate greater amounts of testosterone, whereas being more passive would indicate decreased amounts of testosterone, and in turn would imply that they are less suited to protecting the girl This is all like back when we were living in the forests and the jungles of Africa. Obviously, we're not living in that kind of society, but our bodies don't know that. They still behave as if we are living in that kind of environment. And it's a damn fucking shame, it's like, what can you do about it? You can't change how girls think and to make them attracted to. Otherwise, like, if this didn't happen to him, I'm sure he would have been a perfectly normal guy. If he had interpersonal relations with girls and was able to talk to them and was able to appeal to them, then he would have been indistinguishable from any other human being. And the evidence for that is that most of these guys don't have any prior record. They don't commit crimes. There's no reason for them to, because otherwise they would have been a normal human being. So what is the solution? In my opinion, the solution is you need to go to technology. You need to have fucking androids that look like girls that you can buy and then fuck them, and they are indistinguishable. Like, have you ever seen that that video that was made by Quantic Dreams that made Heavy Rain? The CGI one. That one was... It was just a demonstration of technology, and the name of the video, I believe, was Kara. And it was like basically a sex android. That's what they need to make, because then you can, like, it doesn't matter, you can just buy a woman then. Or the other alternative would be to legalize prostitution, possibly, but even then, I'm not really sure if that would do the trick, because while it might feel artificial to the point of where, even more artificial than the android, because while the android is fake, the sex robot is fake, it has genuine feelings. It's going to love and want the man in question. Whereas the hooker, like, that she doesn't love you. That's the problem. So it might satisfy his sexual needs, but it would not satisfy his romantic needs. That you can't really buy unless you have like an android that's programmed to have romantic relations with a human being. That's the only solution I can think of to this. Aside from that, it is a horrible situation. I do think that he's a victim, and people that are bashing him he made that video, and there's a comment section to it, and people are full of vitriol and stuff like that without actually realizing, properly empathizing with what he must have gone through and what these other shooters have gone through. And if that kind of attitude, all it does is just going to perpetuate more of these kinds of shootings. My advice: understand why people kill. When you understand why people kill, you can address the problem and help fix it. Like I said, the solution is legalize prostitution and make sex androids. Pour all the money into that, make it happen. It will help society. It will be a huge profitable business, and yeah, and it'll be cool as hell. We'll have robots that are indistinguishable from human beings. Anyway, post in the comment section what you think. This is Enigma Hood signing off.